Come on. JD on the track. It's your boy Preacher. Yeah. Come on.
Good morning. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm IntellectualRadio Jr. And the name of the show is Let the Truth Be Told. Folks, we got a special edition show coming in, and I got one of my brothers, man, back with me today, who first started me when I was in the radio business, the return of the coach. But today we're going to try to open your mind a little bit about the real meaning of the 4th of July. Call a friend and let them know you're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is Let the Truth Be Told. Let the Truth Be Told. I would rather you hurt me with the truth than come for me with a lie. See you in a second.
Lord, please have mercy. Man, homie, when I'm feeling lonely, cause it's the truth that shaping mold me. Truth be told, cause I'm married to it. If it ain't the truth, man, I don't wanna do it. Real love, be official. It bear forgiveness and it be sacrificial. I'm married to truth.
David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is Let the Truth Be Told. For all praises to God and my Lord and Savior Yeshua for making it possible for me to be here. I want to welcome all my Facebook Live friends and families, all y'all Lowry families out there. And also I want to welcome my regular listeners and and everybody else that want to be on the scene today. But with no further ado, my brother from another mother, known each other since we was young shorties. I got Coach back in the house. This is the Return of the Coach show. What's up, Coach?
What's up, Brother Dave? How you feel, man?
Man, you know what, man? I missed you, dog.
Missed you too, brother. It's a mutual thing.
Hey, you know what? This is the real talk show, man. Now, we gonna jump right into this situation. Now, black people, here we go again. This time, we are celebrating. I'm not now. I make it differently for me, but a lot of black folks out there, family reunions, barbecues, going to the stove, spending money, buying hair, clothes. Pookie and Ray needs some shoes,
matching T-shirts.
Oh man, and all that other stuff. Black people gonna probably spend anywhere from $4 to $5 billion
right
for the 4th of July. Now, I'm gonna get a phone number out to the show because I'm sure some of y'all house Negroes is gonna want to call me and dispute me, and that's just fine too.
Let them come on with
it. But if you believe, if you're a black person, and if you believe in Independence Day, it's something seriously wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to give you some medicine so you can understand on how to deal with this. Now, Coach, you get started. Tell me what you think about this 4th of July holiday. Let the listeners know exactly, does it mean anything to black people or not?
Dave, first of all, you never was set free on no 4th of July.
Exactly.
They coming with the 4th of July like it was independence, it was freedom. The whole song and all of that was done by slave masters. That's who wrote all that Star Spangled Banner and all that. It's a facade, and we still caught up in this slave mentality to believing that we free. How you free with economically? You got to look at the whole picture, Dave.
Yeah.
And what I mean when I say economically, we always tend to run out every holiday, and I call it holiday. It's his holiday.
Holiday, right?
That's the day you holler because you done spent all your money.
Oh,
You done bought hair, So the hair industry still get the yin yangs getting that money.
Yeah.
You going to the nail shop, they getting that money.
And they doing your feet too.
And they doing your feet too. You gotta get your feet done. You gotta go buy you some cheap sandals for the day. Little Ray and them gotta get little shoes and stuff to match too.
That's right.
Why is it that everybody is getting sucked in the black neighborhood, sucked out of your money for one day, and everybody else, billions and billions of dollars is coming out your neighborhood?
Now, and what you said is so true, but I want to take it back just a little bit further now. And this is why I say America is a hypocrite. When the thieves, junkies, hookers, and everything else that left Europe and came to a country and claimed it, how can you discover a country when there's some people already here? So when they came here and they tricked the Indians, because if the Indians had to let them die because they didn't know how to deal with the winters, we wouldn't be having this problem right now.
Let me elaborate on what you just said as far as the Indians. So you got to realize, they don't want to teach you the real true history of how it really evolved. There was already blacks here in America, in the United States before that, because we're the ones who invented boats.
Exactly.
We had already circumnavigated the whole entire equator. It's not a place on this planet that wasn't black folks already there.
But then, they
don't give you the whole history.
Right.
Hold on, one more thing too. While we on that,
day, dog, it's your day.
Dave, you got to realize. Okay, you talking about Columbus came over here and discovered America, correct?
The pedophile,
right? And the faggot, yeah,
right.
He was brought over here by Moors. He didn't know nothing about navigating the seas, coming to know America. And when he came to America, the blacks that were already here, those are the same blacks that you saw in India.
Exactly.
That's why they call them Indians.
Right, exactly.
Because they still had melanated skin.
Exactly.
So people don't realize Indians were actually black.
So, and not only that too, I was watching the History Channel and it was talking about the origins of America. And it was found that the Indians, through some kind of records or drawing, they said that the dark ones from across the sea came and taught them how to till the land, educated them on how to survive. Those were the Moors. See, white America do not want that history told. And that's why I thank Earl Winfrey every day to let me come up in here and have this platform, because see, we're trying to change folks' mind. Black people, we need to get out of the box. We put ourselves in a box to believe this white American history, that they came over here and they discovered uncharted land and they cut the trees down and they built Chicago and the rest of these places. They did not do that. They came over here. They brought diseases, killing. They brought destruction.
Do you know how they conquered the Indians when they first got here? Because they tricked them and said it's Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
But what they did was they gave the Indians smallpox and blankets,
exactly,
and alcohol, and they drugged them.
Right.
So basically, you took them off their square, and that's when you start slaughtering the Indians.
No. It started because then you're right. Because then when they slaughtered the Indians as much as they could, and they saw that those resistant Indians were not going to give up the land easy.
Reservation time.
They said no, but they were smarter than that. They said, okay, kids, check this out, dog. We're going to sign a peace treaty. And in the peace treaty, we're going to say we're going to stop trying to kill you, and we're going to give y'all a certain portion of y'all own land.
Reservation.
And we're going to put you on the reservation.
Yep.
But you're going to sign the peace treaty, but really what they did was sign a document that the white man created was to take over the United States land, and the Indians didn't know what they were signing.
Exactly. Because don't forget, they gave them the alcohol. Don't forget that part.
But now, here we go. You are from a foreign country. You come to this country, and now you see all the resources that you can steal and take from people because you want their stuff. And then you say, well, guess what, Britain? We don't want to give y'all no more taxes. We don't want to give y'all no more resources. So guess what? We're going to file for our independence with you. We're going to stop doing all the things we've been doing for you, and no longer will you be making us your slaves. Now, the real problem I had with that, when all these famous Europeans were sitting in there drafting up the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all of that, and then crying about being enslaved, and yet you had a black man sitting in the corner with a suit and a fedora-looking shirt on, waiting on you, bringing you water and feeding you. So that's the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in my life. You want your freedom, but then you want to enslave somebody else, and now you mad at black people because they want their freedom too. So my question is to y'all out there, the number 708-223-8953. My question to you is call in. Tell me what your thoughts are. How much money you going to spend for the 4th of July?
They're not already spent it, Dave. It's too late. They've never been to the store.
Because black people, we should not be celebrating this holiday. We should not be dropping $4 or $5 billion because we are not free. Did anybody get the memo?
Dave, I even got a problem with even going inside small neighborhoods. Say, for example, you go to 47th and Prairie. Every time I pass through that area, I see a little Mexican sitting on the corner selling ices and whatever, all that old
tacos, corn, and all that.
Dave, they stealing your money right out your face. Somebody black could be doing that. You can't go to their neighborhood and steal.
You can't do that.
You can't set up shop in that. And it's been going on for years, though. Like it's cool.
But you know what the thing of it is? It's the mindset.
We need to wake up, man.
It's the mindset of black people right now.
Yeah, we need to wake up.
And y'all can call my generation old-fashioned.
Call it what you want to.
But our generation was smart enough to get y'all to where y'all at. It's a whole bunch of young people out there standing on our shoulders.
That's right.
Because we caught the tail end of it, and we were the generation that said, we're not going to put up with this. So all the rights that you young folks have, y'all college people got these old plantation jobs. Y'all got them jobs because of us. It was the blood, sweat, and tears that my parents put out there, and the blood, sweat, and tears that we experienced and stood up and said, we were no longer going to let you do these things to black people. So black people, we need to get a checkup from the neck up. That's what this show is about. We need to open our eyes to what's going on around us. Tell me this, and you see the number, 708-223-8953. Somebody call me and tell me, if black people supposed to have equality and freedom, how is it that a white police officer can get fired from one department,
go to
another department, and get a job, and in 90 seconds, shoot a black man in the back? Tell me how that's possible.
And nothing happens.
And all these house Negro politicians, man, I'm so sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. Now, somebody call the politicians and tell them Dave talking about y'all ass this morning, because that's what y'all need to do. Y'all black people need to start flooding their phone, their offices, and making them be accountable. Now, all these black politicians, Maxine Waters, all these House Negro politicians here in Chicago, all doing press conferences, all whining and crying about the border children. Well, first of all, I love children. It is a shame what they're doing. The problem that I have with that is that that's their situation, not the black situation. Because black people are being gunned down over here, families is being separated, no economics, no nothing. And all these politicians getting up and talking about, oh, that's so wrong. Donald Trump this and Donald Trump that, and the kids this. But a lot of black people ain't even understanding what's going on.
Are you aware that they still have slavery going on right now overseas?
Yeah.
And nothing is doing. What about, where's the United Nations at?
Hell, they got slavery going on right here in the United States. And what are the United Nations at?
You don't hear nothing.
No.
Everything is hush hush. See, if we don't deal with the situation, that means we part of the problem.
Exactly.
If we don't have no solution for it, we part of the problem. So all these politicians that's sitting around who not putting nothing into it,
we need to get them out of there.
Money under the table because they've been there too long. They've been there 30, 40 years.
Man, you know what? And
can't walk, can't see.
And still.
Yes, the boss.
Yeah, and still. You know, earlier, you and I was talking about when you do your time, pass it on. See, I love Muhammad Ali. He was an idol for me when I was coming up, man. You know, I boxed. I did the same things, you know, that I saw him do. But more importantly, what I saw him do was become an advocate for his people from his position. But in the fight game, I felt that Muhammad stayed too long because he was the greatest champion of all time. Mike Tyson don't compare to him because he's a whole different level. Nobody. The champion of all times. But one thing that the champ did was he stayed too long in the ring. I don't know whether it's the glory, money, or what.
It's the same thing with the politicians, Dave. They've been in there too long. You got politicians that have been in there 30, 40 years, and they're not getting nothing done. Well, we need some young, new black blood in there that's ready to stand up and ready to die.
And Congressman John Lewis down there in Atlanta. Negro, please. You called a press conference to get up on TV and you start crying about the border children and police killing people down in Atlanta every day and going on. This I don't understand.
Dave, are you aware that they're kidnapping blacks right now in Chicago every day? They just had 3 black sisters on the South Side. They just came up missing.
And they want their organs.
And they found the bodies, and the bodies had been cut open and organs have been missing. See, that's the new thing that's going on, because you got to realize it's the end of the white man's regime right now. So in order for them to, they have to mutate.
Yeah.
They have to mutate to stay alive, because our organs inside, I'm talking about black folks who are not aware, you have the strongest genes on this planet.
And I was told that organs regenerate every 10 years.
Every 10 years.
Not been abused.
That's right.
And so it's part of the traffic. But Coach, getting back to the 4th of July, man, black people, we ain't free, man. We far from it. We don't even understand the dynamics. You know, in order for us to really understand true freedom, we have to segregate ourselves.
That's right.
We can't be this. The integration was the worst thing that ever happened to black people, because when black people were segregated, they had their own businesses, banks. Right. We had everything. Yeah. We took care of our own kind.
Yeah, and that's what we did. You know, it's another sickening thing when you see right now. If you go to the Chicago public schools, every time I go to a grammar school, I'm seeing young white teachers coming straight out of college, educating our children. We don't need that, Dave. We need to educate our own children. They closed 50-something schools in Chicago, black schools, Hispanic schools, and replaced, first of all, they cut all those teachers.
All them teachers out.
All them teachers now. They still have all this knowledge and wisdom.
Right.
To raise the children with. But now it's psychological. When they look up into a white face, you thinking that he knows more than what you know.
Exactly.
It's still racism, Dave. I don't care what you call it.
Well, and that's the reason why we're doing this show, because these examples will make you think that on the 4th of July, and you're going to be out here help celebrating somebody else's freedom. You're not celebrating black freedom.
You know who else going to get hurt on the 4th of July?
Who is that?
They're going to have all these fireworks.
Oh, man.
There's going to be so many people go to the hospital.
Little Johnny going to blow his hand off.
Johnny going to blow his finger off with an M80. They're going to shoot somebody in the eye with the little rocks they be chasing each other.
All this is cost. It's going to cost you.
It's going to cost you.
Because see, if your kid have to go to the doctor, not only is you don't want paid money for barbecue,
it costs $2,000 just to get an ambulance,
drinks, clothing, and everything else. Now, also, if you get drunk and get caught by the police, that's going to be another $4,000 or $5,000.
More than that.
So whose freedom are you celebrating?
It's not ours. You better believe that.
If we are not free, why are we celebrating this holiday? And the thing of it is what the white man is smart.
Mm-hmm.
In the 60s and 70s, when they realized how strong black people were, they gave us the illusion that we would be equal to them.
Dave, you know what you call that? The illusion of conclusion.
Exactly. But all they did was made us look like we had our freedoms. And at the back, and then on the back end, they was changing laws, changing ordinances.
They still doing it.
And doing it to this very day.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just have not just tried to understand how we need to get out of this mess. And it's simple. It's really simple. We got to start doing for each other.
That's right.
Every other race on the face of this planet
Every race
is self-contained.
That's right.
Just like you were saying earlier, Coach. The Mexicans ain't gonna let me come over there in their community and sell no damn soul food.
That's right. You don't even try it either.
White folks is not gonna let me come in their community and own no gas station or no liquor store. The Italians ain't gonna let me come over to Little Italy and sell no pizzas.
You're not going to Chinatown either and sell no polar sausages.
You don't want to get claim you ain't going to Chinatown.
No. Everybody got a town except for us. We got Negro town.
But the bad thing is that we act like we don't see it because we study spending money with these people. Our black political leaders should be seeking out black business people and people who are not educated about it to help them understand on how to create economic development. Because there's money for that.
That's right.
In the city of Chicago with block grant funds. It's so much money for us to own our own community, but we don't know about it because the gatekeeping Negroes don't want to keep you to know about it. And they want to keep all the crime going so they can keep getting the money and we keep dying and nobody really understands what we got.
When are they really going to address the issue about the drugs that's coming in the city? Because first of all, once again, you can't blow no poppy seeds or none of that here in the United States. You can't get no heroin. All that's coming in is filtered in. It's coming right into our neighborhoods, Dave. It's a system of survival.
And that's really what's being created. It's been created in the black community.
And just in our community now.
Right.
Nobody else's community. It's genocide.
But the thing that it just baffles me in the brain. Okay. And they want to say black people, oh, we are not where we used to be. I beg to differ. We're worse than where we were before.
Right.
We done regressed.
We done regressed instead of progress.
And so we're not seeing it because the generation now, and I call it the college generation. The college generation don't get it because now they done piled up all
85% of those that's going in because it's blacks are females.
And not only that, too, they getting the degrees. And still not being able to get no jobs that they pay all this money for.
They have masters and all that. Now you're in debt for the next 20, 30 years.
But you know what they didn't learn in college, Coach? They didn't learn the true struggle of black people. They didn't learn to have black pride and black spirit. Because if all of us are not free, then none of us are free.
That's right.
So you better understand this. When you segregate yourself from your people, and you get to that point where you think that you good with master, that all y'all can get together and go party and not do nothing but for y'all self and y'all own kind, and then you look down on those who don't have a college degree, you're going to wake up one morning and something going to happen to you, and then you're going to wonder what to do, and that white man going to tell you to sit your ass down and shut up.
Dave, you know how I sum everything up like that? What we're going through right now, if you really look at it, it's called the race.
It is.
It's the race. You got every different nationality racing
against each other.
Racing against each other, and so we're going to be at the finish line. It's the last man standing. What it is.
And that's true. And that's where the word race came from. It had nothing to do with the skin color or your nationality. No. It was a mindset. They invented a mindset. We in a race. We racing. Because it's always who's going to be first.
Who's going to be first. And who's going to be last, too.
Yeah, but, because, it was always about, when we was coming up, we knew that white folks always wanted to be number one. And then black people number two. Then everybody else followed under that.
That's the format they made you think.
That was the mindset.
That's the mindset.
That's the mindset they wanted you to think. But in all actuality, there is no race. It's people that are trying to survive, and that's black people.
That's it.
We're the only ones that don't have nothing. We don't own nothing. Our communities in shambles. So what we need to do is this, Coach, because this is the 4th of July, and all y'all out there ain't got no freedoms. If you think you got freedoms, and if you think you're going to be equal to Thomas Jefferson and his boys up north, then go look outside your door. Look at your bank account.
You talking about all the slave masters.
Right. Look at your bank account. The blacks built this country. The ideas, the inventions that came about, that reason why America is what it is today It was built off the ideas and the backs of black people.
How do you feel when they try to all of a sudden that's a new cliche? If y'all don't like it, you niggas don't like it, go back to Africa. Why would we have to be the ones that go back to another planet when we was here first? They don't tell you that in history, though. No, I'm sorry, his story. His story. That's right. That's how you got to say it, nigga. That's how it is. It's his story.
But the thing of it is, and people say, I see a lot of people that know me, and some people say, "Oh man, you be too hard. You're radical. You gotta let that go. You let the slavery time go, because these new people, they ain't did nothing." But see, that's an idiotic thought. Even though we haven't gotten reparations, even though we built this country, those ancestors, those generations are living off monies that this country was built on. And I believe me, if I used and abused a people and tried to destroy them, separated them when we sold them, and see, this is what I be talking about when they start talking about the border children. That's why I don't have any remorse or feelings for that situation. I do for the family, but I don't have remorse for that situation, because when black people was brought over here, they separated families. Your son might get sold to Master Mold. Your daughter might get sold to somebody else where she's going to be raped and all that other stuff. Husbands and wives were split up. Your wife might have been on this plantation. You was on this plantation. And the same stuff is still going on today. It's just in a different way.
That's right.
The game ain't changed. It's just different rules to the game.
The name's been changed to protect the innocent, Dave.
But so black people, why are we getting ups in arms about what's happening at the border? That's the diversion. That's the diversion. That's the diversion.
So you gotta look at the whole thing too, Dave, in the same light that you just said that. You got this clown in office who don't know nothing about politics, who's a businobman supposedly.
But the last president didn't know nothing about politics.
No, he didn't know nothing either. We talking about Uncle Jesse. Obama, whatever, see, that was a ploy too, Dave. Let me just, you know what, you should have touched on that.
You ain't been here in a while.
Let me expound something to you. This is how they trick you. Because see, the devil is at work.
Yes, he is.
What the devil did was, we're going to take this token of a black man, just because you're black on the outside don't mean you're black on the inside.
Exactly.
Dave. I call him an Oreo.
Man, I don't call him nothing.
You can be hypnotized. The whole United States came together. Oh, it's time for a change. Remember, that was his slogan. It's time for a change.
It was a change.
First of all, he's not the first black that's been ever in the White House.
No,
he's not the first president that was black in the White House.
But those who do not know black history,
exactly,
don't know that it was a black president. Couple of them before,
way before.
What's his name? What's that boy's name?
I can't think his name right now.
Okay,
but
anyway, that last
we'll get back on that on another show.
Yeah. But we'll do another show on that. But what we're saying to our people is, we have to start opening our eyes. We're in this war, and we're losing badly.
It's a war too,
and our children don't understand. Those educated people, they don't understand it, because they never had to fight it. They went off to college and they were taught not to come back home. And so when you don't understand what's going on at home, you don't know how to deal with what's happening at home.
And it's sad too, Dave. See, we don't have our warriors.
No.
Let me address one thing too. When they always addressing the thing about gangs, you got to realize we're a tribal people.
Yes, we are.
It's not a gang thing. It's naturally in us to have war.
Yeah.
But when we had war in Africa, we didn't kill each other.
Exactly.
I read the book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. I suggest that to anybody to read, by Chancellor Williams, and it would give you the format. When we had war games didn't mean kill each other.
Right.
War games with strategy
on how to fight
the enemy.
Exactly. Just like America's doing right now.
Just like they're doing right now. They stealing everything. Everything. The great generals were black.
Exactly.
They still using those tactics to this day. I did 5 years in the Marine Corps, Dave, and they still to this day using those same tactics that they stole from Gibraltar.
Yes. Yes.
They still using it. But we don't know that.
Because they don't want you to know.
They don't want you to know.
And just like you were talking about earlier, that's why I say they closed 50 schools. Black people should have started investing into those buildings.
What happened to those teachers?
And those same teachers would have had jobs, and we could have taught the curriculum that we wanted to teach to our children.
Let our children look up and look in the black eye.
Right.
Look in the black face.
And let them understand what it is to be black.
That's right.
Be proud to be black.
That's right.
But see, the conditioning that has happened to us is that our young people think that it's okay for the police to kill us like this. They've got conditioned in the mind that this is just part of the process.
Part of every day.
This is part of our everyday living.
Yep.
That we have to wake up in the morning time and we have to wonder if we're going to bring our ass back home.
That's right.
If you're in a different situation, you don't know what's going to happen.
No other race goes through this but us.
Nobody but us.
That's right.
So black people, I challenge you. Ask yourself, why are we going through these things? Ask yourself that. And then ask yourself, what can I do to try to change it? Because it's not good out here. It's not good out here for us and nobody else. And we have to quit thinking in this type of thought. As long as it didn't happen to me, I ain't gonna worry about it.
That's it too. That's the thought. That's a shame though.
Because even if it happens to somebody else, you could be next. So ask yourself what you can do, things that you can do in your own community. We said it before. Chicago was the strongest black city in the United States coming up because the black political leaders actually fought for their communities. They fought for the right thing in economics, and they got the job done.
But when you take away all the strong leaders, what happened? Man,
they died, man. And once that generation started to die out, man, some of the kids from those political leaders, man, they sold out.
Do you know what's another problem today that's really hidden, but it's not hidden, it's right in front of your face? Okay, what they did with the black family was, first of all, they took the male out the house.
Yeah.
They came up with this concept, okay, project.
Yep.
Listen to the word project.
Yep.
We're going to make it where he can't be there. We're going to give him Section 8.
Right. Section 8. Well, we're gonna make sure.
So he can't be on the premises. He can't live here. He can go through and make babies.
But he can't stay at the house.
He can't stay at the house and be the head of the household.
Exactly.
Then we're going to give all the black women jobs and make them think,
that
I'm a man now. I'm a man now.
Exactly.
And then we so brainwashed, Dave. I mean, it's ironic, man, and it's sad. It's sad because now they're starting to think that they're the man.
That's true.
They really believe they're the man, and now they start to intertwine with this white massa slavery mentality that came from Europeans who always, even when they came with what they called themselves doing it was called buck busting.
Yes, Lord.
That's where
that's right.
That's where the gayness came from.
That's where gayness came from. Yeah.
It was but they would take the strongest slave, Dave, chain him to the ground, and rape him in front of his entire family.
And you know what?
Degrade him.
Exactly.
So now they got you thinking you got Obama get in office.
Right. That's him.
Talking about it's okay. Michelle let everybody. Okay, but let them, Malia, what's that name? Shusha, whatever their name is.
But
let them come home with a woman.
They're going to accept that.
They're going to accept that.
They're going to accept that.
You know what? That's the norm now.
That's the norm now.
You got your boy Magic Johnson.
With his son. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus.
He got so much flame coming off him. A flamethrower. And Magic just a smiling. You can't be smiling on the inside, brother.
You got to be sick.
You got to be sick. But you got to do this for this money.
Yep. And you know
got to go along with the gay rights for this money.
And man, you know what, Coach? And it has to be said. You know, it's something that cannot be overlooked. The gay rights bill, the law that was passed, was probably the most worst thing that any other president could have did.
Why'd it have to be the black man, though?
Because that they used him. They used him to get what they wanted done because he wanted their votes.
Exactly.
And so when you made it was okay. Our children are confused. Kids 12, their hormones is raging, 9, 10. They don't know what to do.
Come home, you see two men together.
They need to be seeing a husband and a wife, but they're coming home and seeing two women together and two men together. You know, and that confuses them. So the generation that's coming up gonna be so confused, they gonna stop reproducing.
Dave,
Because the girls
that's
on
what
girls
genocide
and the boys on boys.
And I don't really want to go back into the Bible kind of thing, the scripture.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah is right here, right now.
Right now. That's what we are. America, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right now.
And that's sad. That's sad that our women have and have lowered themselves to a standard to say, I'm gonna love another woman. And the same way with men.
Yep.
This is not normal.
How can it be normal? How can you reproduce? You can't reproduce.
And see, and that's why I say the war's being raised in the people's mind.
That's right.
If you control a man's thinking, you control him.
Control him.
And that's what's wrong with us. The war in our mind is that some of us is succumbing to whatever goes along.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that was okay. Then that they made.
Hey, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything.
You know, and then I want to talk too about the gay thing, man. You guys did not have a civil rights struggle. Now, I ain't mad at y'all. Y'all can do whatever you want to do. In your bedrooms, you should just keep your bedroom antics in your bedroom.
It got blatant now, Dave.
But don't associate your gayness and want everybody to know you was gay to the black struggle. Black people were killed, hung, dogs, water hoses. We still getting done the same way every day.
Right now.
We still fighting for our freedoms, and we're fighting just to be left alone and live our lives in America. And gays are associating that with the black struggle.
So you know what, Dave? You know what the trick is too? You got to realize the trick, because it's trickery. The devil's still working, man.
You keep hitting it on, man.
The trick that he just put out here is so blatant. He laid up here and took it and made you think it's okay to do all of this. But actually, that's his way of life.
That's his way of life.
The more civilized them, and more means black people for those who don't know how to read.
Yes.
More means black. It wasn't called, oh, you black, you Hispanic, you green, you this. No, it wasn't about race. It was about humanity.
Humanity.
It was about spirituality. And so we've gotten away from that. We've been Christianized to the point.
Oh, man.
We've been Christianized to the point. Oh. All we doing is jumping up and down. Hallelujah. I'm just.
It's true,
Dave. I'm gonna let the truth be told.
That's
now.
The name of the show. Let the truth be told.
We've been doing this for years. We're gonna let the truth be told, Dave. It's a facade,
and it's a controlling situation. You know, I read the Bible. I read the Quran, and they're books worthy to be read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but some of the things in the Bible, I don't. It contradicts itself. That's true.
Because we're talking about King James version of the Bible.
Yeah,
you know what moved me, Dave? I wanted to find out who was King James. And this when I was in the service and back in the late 70s. I didn't say, wait a minute, let me find out because over there, whether you know it or not, what you call him, the Jesus was black.
He was black.
It says
Yahshua.
It was Yahshua.
It was the Greek stuff.
But I mean, if you go over there now, in those castles, the Pope prays to the Black Madonna and Child because they know. The Pope walks around with the staff. You know what's on that staff on the top? It looks like a pine cone, right?
Right.
That's the pineal gland that's inside the black's brain.
See?
And we don't even realize it. They know the wisdom comes from us.
But you know what, Coach? That's so true because my family traced our family all the way back. We did with the DNA. Mm-hmm. Have traced it all the way back to biblical times.
Mm-hmm.
And when they went to go find out all the records, all the real history of how America was started, all that real history of all the blacks that came from Africa, Ethiopia, all of those records is at the Vatican in Rome.
It's under the bottom of the
Vatican.
Under the bottom
of the Vatican in Rome.
Let me tell you how tricky that devil is, man. You got to realize they stole everything from us.
They did.
If you go in the Vatican right now, you got 8 miles of black history. I'm talking about gold. The first kings and queens were not white. No. That Elizabeth and all that old joke, they're not royalty.
No.
How could you be royalty and you didn't build those castles that you stay in? They tricking everybody right now when they just got the, what's her name? The black sister that just married.
Yeah. That new
They
girl.
need her genes and she don't know it.
Yep, they do.
They need that. So they need some black blood in them or they gonna die out.
They dying out, man. They dying
See, people,
out.
we're not looking at the whole picture. They it's so nice. What's her name? Megan? Whatever. I know she had the TV show.
Everybody looking at the web. They knocked time off.
It's about time we got a black. Yeah, but no, hold on, y'all. No.
But
it was all black at first.
But I don't understand
the true
mindset.
Kings and queens were black.
I don't understand the mindset that this is conditioning for, and this is what black people, we got to work on. We can get all excited about something happening to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We will come up in arms. We will be ready to fight and say that shit is wrong. And we won't even come up in arms to fight for ourselves. That's the mindset
right.
that you know, we worried about somebody else, but yet we ain't even worried about what we got. And we ain't got nothing. Everything's been taken.
That's right. Right before your very eyes.
And we don't even understand. And that's the scariest part for me is, can somebody call me and tell me in the next 10 years, and then we're going to take a break. I'm going to put the number out there. Somebody call me and tell me, I know y'all hitting the Facebook, tell me at the rate that things are going now, and all the stuff that we seeing now, somebody call me on this Independence Day that you are celebrating and tell me at this rate we're going, where will black people be in the next 10 to 20 years? The number 708-223-8953. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. I said, call me, man. Let me know where y'all thinking we're going to be at in 10 years at this rate.
JD on the track. Your boy Preacher. Yeah. True. Come on. Hey. True. Hey. True. Hey. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Married to the truth. Yeah. I'm married to the truth. I'm married to the truth. Come on. I'm married to the truth. You're always there for me. And I know that you care for me. You're always down for me. You always there to pick me up. You quit my thirst when I was thirsty. I feel like Lord, Lord, please have mercy. Man, homie, when I'm feeling lonely, cause it's the truth that shape and mold me. Truth be told, cause I'm married to it. If it ain't the truth, man, I don't wanna do it. Real love, be official. It bear forgiveness and it be sacrificial. I'm married to truth.
And welcome back. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr., and the show is that the truth be told. Folks, before I left to go to break, I asked somebody to call, man. Maybe it's too early in the morning for some people. And those who are up, it might be too early in the brain for them to call in. But I'm going to answer the question for you. And I'm going to explain to you why I'm saying this. And I'm going to use some Bible stuff for you too. It says in the last days and times, and all those who hate the Bible, y'all can read the scripture, some 2 Timothy or something like that. Y'all get in and read it and find out. But in 2 Timothy, it started talking about how in the last days and times, men will be lovers of themselves. They will be do wicked thinking. All the wicked things that are going on today.
Currently.
Men sleeping with men, women sleeping with women, the abomination. All the things that was prophesied in the Bible It's happening right now, Coach.
Right now.
And for those who don't believe in it, then tell me, even though you can say, the Bible is a book
It's
of
old.
mythology.
Right. It's old. We don't know what it's talking
And it's
about.
got some stories in there of mythology, but
That's right.
if it was printed in there, it's true, no matter what it is. But tell me how that in this book, that it can state all these things that's happening way back then that's happening right now.
Right now.
Call me and tell me, if the book doesn't have any validity to it, why has it prophesied now? The blood-filled moons, the water, the animals turning against mankind, the earthquake, the famine, the economic, everything that book said is happening, it's happening today. Now, some of the things I agree with, some I don't. I believe in Yahshua, the black Jesus, what they want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in him. I believe that the resurrection was true. I do. I really believe that he was died and brought back. I believe that because I experienced it myself. But how is it that we, as black people that are spiritual, because everybody got to have their own personal relationship. You might not like the Bible, you might not like the Quran, but there is a higher power. So I tell people all the time, develop your own personal relationship. If you want to call it God, Jesus, whatever, but you got to develop that relationship with God yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can understand that the war is raging inside of you. And when you better yourself, you better your surroundings. So we as black people need to understand this right now. The only way we're going to change this, and we say it all the time on the show, man, we keep trying to put it out there, what we need to do. And I think the only way that we're going to survive, because in the next 10 years, this is what's going to happen. There is going to be a civil war because white folks is pushing for it. That's why you see all these police officers who are Ku Klux Klan members and Aryan Nation guys on the police force. They're trying to provoke us into a situation for a war.
An all-out war.
An all-out war. And just like I told one of my white counterparts, we was talking the other day, and he was talking about the situations going on. I told him this. I said, you can take the most friendliest dog, feed him and rub him. As long as that dog happy, he cool. But if you start beating that dog and you back that dog up in a corner,
you're going to fight back.
That damn dog going to come out of there and he going to try to bite you anywhere he can to get you up off him. And that is the situation that's going on with black people. We're taking all this abuse, the separation of our families, the killing of our kids, drugs in our neighborhood. I mean, all of this was by design. And I don't know how much longer white America can think that we're going to continue on down this road
to take it. At some point in time, all y'all house Negroes are going to come to understand that the white man don't love you neither. He's going to get you too.
And he going to get you too. So this is the thing that we trying to wake your mind up. In the next 10 years, when the war breaks out, it's going to be martial law. And it's going to be an all-open war. It's going to be all open. This civil war is going to ring.
It's going to be blood in the streets.
And then what's going to happen is, because we try to be the police all over the world, China, Russia, Korea, and all the rest of these countries is going to bomb the hell out of us.
South and North Korea.
All of them is going to bomb us.
Israel.
Because a divided house can't stand.
How?
And basically that's all that other countries is waiting for.
That's what they wait.
They're waiting for black people to start fighting back. And sooner or later, it's going to happen. White folks don't think that you're going to keep doing what you're doing and walking away with it. Because there's a generation coming up now that don't mind dying.
And that's what we need.
And when you get a generation that don't mind dying, that's the worst for a fear of a man that don't want to die.
That's right. Have no fear of dying.
And when they are like that, that's when this thing gonna get off.
To them? What can you do?
And so if you ain't got nothing, you already poor, and you already in a place where you don't give a damn about yourself, you'll do anything.
You're gonna start turning on them.
And that's why the people from the third world countries with the suicide bombers and stuff like that,
we got nothing to lose, Dave.
They ain't got nothing to lose. That was why in the Second World War, when Japan was sending the kamikaze flyers,
that's right,
they almost lost that war.
That's right.
America would have been speaking, but somehow God blessed America to survive. So within the next 10 or 20 years, I'm telling black folks this: start getting you some supplies. Start getting you some water. Start getting you some fried food, canned goods, something you can open and eat.
That's what they doing.
And they go get you some guns, get you some ammunition, and you better start getting prepared.
When they take their children, Dave, they taking their children to the range
to shoot,
to learn how to shoot. Who? Us.
And our kids are running around on Facebook, 2 and 3 years old, shaking their ass. I saw a little child on Facebook shaking her ass. It was pitiful.
And the mama sitting right there.
And then I saw another child on there with a woman in a truck with a little boy, and he hollering, cussing
her out.
Bitch motherfuckers.
Yeah, cussing her out. And she ain't doing it. She's
sitting there laughing.
Like it was funny.
It's the mentality.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Ignorant.
You need to raise your child to be respectful and get them to understand that this world is not pretty. This world don't love you. You better understand this now. That Facebook is probably one of the worst, evilest tools on the face of the planet. The worst thing you can do for an ignorant black man or woman is make Facebook Live and everybody want to be a caster. Everybody want to have a TV show.
Everybody. Talking the craziest stuff you ever
heard. Stuff. It's just like we got all these Facebook gangsters.
Oh, don't bring them up.
They all on there. They texting you, doing this and doing that, and they won't bust a grape.
I say they ain't gonna throw a rock at a race riot.
Soft as a grunion.
That's right.
But to get on Facebook and we'll talk a pound of bullshit and won't take no action. It's just a few of us out here actually doing something. I was on Facebook and this sister was crying about I thought it was man, but you know, that's another story.
You thought it was what?
Well, she looked like a man.
Okay.
Big old yellow. You know who you is. If you listen to the show, you know who you is.
Right.
She started talking about the situation over at the border. And I said, we got a situation right here. And so she responded saying all the stuff that she do for the black community. So I said, okay, well, you sound like one of the miseducated Negroes. Because if you're doing so much stuff in the black community, why we all effed up?
That's right.
Right? Oh, she got hot, boy.
Struck a nerve.
She said, what are you doing? I said, not enough, apparently.
That's right.
But my actions speak loud for myself. I'll tell a nigga in a minute, Google my name, and you'll find out what I have done for my people. You'll find out what I do every day for my people. Because see, I don't know too many Negroes that a police officer can lose his job and I can call and leave a message for her and they give that boy his job back with back pay. I don't know nobody else can do that. If you can't do them kind of things, you stay off my page talking shit. Because I'm not that person. And And just like I told this sister, and just like I told another brother, you know who you are. You get on these airwaves and you be talking about this and that. But see, I'm from Inglewood. I'm from 56 and Carpenter.
Yeah.
I grew up there when it was all white. I can go back there right now. I can leave right now and go back over there to the hood, and my brothers love me because I ain't forgot where I came from.
Right. You can't do that, Dang.
So the sister that looked like a man, you said you had a program in Inglewood, and you said that none of the parents would participate. And I responded to you and said, I'm from Inglewood, and if you want to, come go with me, and we'll go to their doors, and I will talk to the parents, and kids will come to your program. I said, meet me on 57th and Racine and Moran Park.
And what happened?
They stopped posting. They start posting.
That's how you shut them down, though, because they just want to yak off the mouth.
But if you're about the struggle, if you're about the real struggle, my brother, you know what? Now I gotta say this, Maze Jackson, brother, I love you. What you're doing? You in a league all by yourself. I'm in a league all by myself, but at some point we have to try to, we gotta bridge the gap.
That's right.
And brother, I like what you do because you're doing some things, but we have to get in one house. Now, I invited him over to Moran Park, too. Now, I said, I don't know what's wrong, why people don't want to come over to Inglewood. I mean,
there's too many rumors about it, Inglewood.
And there's so many.
I was born in Inglewood, too, on 59th Street. You got to realize what the media does is propaganda.
Propaganda.
If they keep on keeping that negative propaganda out there, oh, don't go Inglewood. Oh, don't go on the low end. Don't go on 59th. Then you're going to be scared.
Man, this is honest God truth, man, and I ain't going to call this brother name. One of the fraternity brothers I know was talking about some work I was doing, and I told him, I said, well, I grew up in Inglewood, man. I ain't scared to go back to the hood. You know what he told me?
What?
I'm scared to go to the city. You're a grown ass man, and you're a black man, and you scared to go be around your people. And see, that's the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's that mindset. And this is the 4th of July, y'all. Y'all gonna go out there, y'all gonna buy that liquor, you're gonna buy them food, you're gonna buy clothes, you're gonna do all of that and get
fireworks,
blow your hand off.
Blow your finger, you're gonna take little Jimmy and them to the hospital. That's gonna be $2,000 for the ambulance. It's gonna go down.
And we're not free. We got to stop that $4 or $5 billion that we gonna spend for this holiday.
Just the holiday alone.
Just this one. We could take that money and invest it into our community. Now we getting solution time. We could take that billions of dollars that we waste on everybody else stuff. We could start rebuilding our own community. We could go right to the city of Chicago, and we can start purchasing all the lots that they're making these vacant lots on purpose. Okay. And so there are things that have been done with the regentrification. We can start buying these properties. We can start putting our own people back in there. We can start opening banks. We could look at all the money that we spend. Mm-hmm. If we spend it in our own community and we start building our own economics, we don't have to worry about nobody else.
But they know this.
And the white folks know it, and those house Negroes know it, but the common people that know it don't know how to implement it. Mm-hmm. So I'm asking brothers and sisters, y'all, Facebook page, Living and Driving While Black Foundation, David L. Lowry Jr., hit my inbox. If y'all are serious about the struggle, see, now I'm calling y'all Facebook people out, just like I did before. If you're serious about the struggle and you come over to my house, see what we got, see how we fight, see how we don't worry about, I don't worry about the police. That's why I talk the way I talk. Because first of all, God has got my back.
That's right.
So inbox me, come on in, let's sit down, let's put some ideas together, some real ideas, and let's just implement those things into our community and see how they change. Coach, your last words.
Well, Dave, you know what? It was a very intriguing conversation we had today. I'm glad to be back. I just want to leave us with this. What we need to do as black folks, we need to stop fighting one another, number one.
Yes.
We need to stop brainwashing each other with this religion thing.
Yeah.
Because all religions were man-made. If you don't have God in your life, you don't have to have a name for it. Everybody think it's a club.
Exactly.
You go to the church that day,
It's a
they're
club.
doing more dancing in the church than you doing in the club.
I've seen the pastor run around the church, man. I quit going over there.
I've seen churches now. They got churches now where male pastors are marrying male pastors in the church.
And see, that's the fall. That's Revelation.
That's Revelation.
But go on, Coach, and finish up.
What we need to do is actually start to wake up. We need to start pulling our pants up again, youth, because you're not going to never get nowhere with your pants down. And we need to pray. That's the main thing we need to do. And prayer pull you through anything.
Thank you so much, brother. It's welcome to have you back. We're going to go on and wrap it up. I just want to say a couple of things. Folks, if you get a problem out here on this holiday while you're celebrating, call us at the Living and Driving While Black Foundation. We provide lawyers, leadership. You can go to www.livingdrivingwhileblack.org. Go to the site, put your name in there. You ain't got to become a member. Just put your name in there. Say you down for the struggle, and let us reply to you, and let us get together and do what we need to do. One quick note I want to tell folks: the D. Lowry and Associates is looking for people to. If you're looking for some kind of work, you can reach us at 708-663-5262, and we're looking to help people get employed. We're also looking for opportunities. We got a new product in that's called Biozine. This is a microchip that stops the radiation from cell phones to dry your eyes out. It causes brain damage. This microchip right here will block those radiations and the glare up to 5 feet around your circumference. It will also work with PCs and laptops that these radiations things emit from. So inbox me if you're interested. It's just new, been in America 18 months, and my firm will market it. This is for your health. This will stop a lot of the pain and suffering with your eyes and in your brain. My last word. Black people, we have been beat down so badly that we don't quite understand what's happening. Our brains have been so inundated with stupidity that we don't know which way we're going. But I challenge you to go pick a book up. Go find out about Black history. Go find out and read on who you really are. Because when you find out who you are, all the foolishness, all the crazy thoughts, all the disrespect to yourself, all the not knowing how to raise your children, when you find out who you are, then you would know what to do in your life. God bless y'all. Y'all have a safe holiday. And like again, if you have a problem, give us a call. You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, David L. Lowry Jr. I want to thank everybody for listening in to the show. Share it around. God bless y'all.
Hectic.
May God surround us all.
And I feel protected. Back in your arms. That's where I'm headed. I'm married to truth.